Welcome to Animation in the Classroom. First session, why use animation in education? Well, it's a good question. There are many, many reasons. First of all, our students are very visual learners. They have grown up with screens in their faces. So visual aids really help capture students' attention. And I'm sure that's not a surprise to anybody who is watching this presentation. Video content promotes digital literacy. And you might be saying, well, how is that? There are so many opportunities to talk about digital literacy just in a lesson as you're introducing a video, whether it's talking about pointing out about copyright or fair use or checking your sources. So there are tons and tons and tons of offshoots of digital literacy that can be woven in when you're providing video content. And digital literacy, getting our kids to understand how the digital world works and what is being a good digital citizen is a valuable lesson. So video animations and presentations expand remote teaching opportunities. Unfortunately, we have all probably experienced remote teaching. So I did, when I was teaching remotely, I basically made video lessons of practically everything I taught. And that way, if I had a student that was missing a day, I could have the video for them to catch up. Because I'm sure you guys all experienced difference in attendance during remote teaching. So it's a way to basically say, here's my lesson. You didn't miss anything. Video content has many uses in an educational setting. So you can use it as a presentation tool to share content with your students as an introduction, or your students making a video animation or any kind of video content as a final project instead of just a straight presentation. So animating for instruction or animating for showing understanding are two ways in an educational setting. There's also explainer videos that help explain concepts, not just introduce, so you can get more in depth in a content area. And I'll say it again, we all know most of our kids are very visual. So if they can see it and also hear about it, you're getting at two different forms of learning, the auditory processing and visual processing, which can be helpful. And of course, videos can address students with short attention spans. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is the YouTube generation, the snippet, the snippet, the snippet. So their attention spans are short. So if you can grab their attention for 3 minutes because you're explaining to them how the water cycle works and you have a fun video to see rather than just reading it out loud to them and maybe showing them some still images, you might be able to keep their attention a little longer. These are actually my two favorite reasons. Inclusion. Animation provides a different way for students to express themselves. So some students, it's very hard for them to stand up in front of class and give an oral presentation. This takes that away, that fear away. They will have an audience, but it's not people staring at them. It's looking at the animation that they have created. And kids can let their creativity and imaginations run wild in an animation. So that's one of my favorite reasons. And of course, it can be really, really fun. Using animations, creating animations, finding animations can add the fun factor. So one of the important things, it's about leveraging different learning platforms to improve student outcomes. That's what our job is, improving student outcomes. So what can we do? So let's take a little look.
using animation as a teaching tool. Uh-oh. That's better.
I'm Sheila Graber, art teacher with many age groups, media advisor since the 1980s, and animator. I aim to show that animation is not just fun, but it's a great way to learn a bit more about any subject that you normally study in lessons.
So, let's get on with it.
Pardon? Who are you?
I'm Quizzycat, and I'm here to help you get moving.
Okay, thanks Quizzycat.
Firstly, you can use animation made by others as a fun way to make a subject clearer.
That's true. These were made by students at the University of Sunderland from ideas suggested by junior school pupils. The children were asked to draw and write about what they liked about a subject,
Love multiplication and division.
and then explain what they didn't like about the same subject.
Hate fractions.
The pupils discussed their feelings with the students, who then went on to make short movies to use in lessons.
Hello, I'm Danny Division and I can divide. For example, 250 divided by 2 equals 125.
I'm Super Times.
And I can multiply. For example, 2 times 2 equals 4. We can help you with finding a fraction of quantity.
To find 3/6 of £72, you divide 72 by 6. The answer is 12.
Now, 12 times 3. 1 times 3 equals 3. 2 times 3 equals 6. The answer is 36. Therefore, 3/6 of £72 equals £36.
Secondly, and even more importantly, by actually making their own animations, pupils will have fun as they learn.
The subject set was growing up. In Fulwell, it was the growth of a volcano.
In Whitburn, they showed the growth of a human.
Away the lads! Back a vein, unreal.
Now, let's look behind the scenes and see what skills are being employed in the making of such fun animated movies.
And then we put special thanks to
I'm a friendly monster. I'm a friendly person.
I'm a tree.
So sad.
The vein, it's unreal.
You've got the tiny branch.
This has been the best lesson I've had this year.
With many thanks to
Whitburn Village Primary School, Valley View Primary School, Fulwell Junior School, and
the University of Sunderland.
Yes, I do realize that that video was from England, and when they were talking about the different possibilities in terms of how it can help the students, in terms of what standards, I'm sure you can see what the standards, how they would apply to us over here in terms of student voice, creativity, the different inventive writings. So very many different uses and possibilities for why you should use animation in the classroom. So here is your first assignment. Here are links to these 2 articles. These articles are also linked in the links document under this session 1. So please read those 2 articles and write a reflection paper that's about 2 to 3 pages long that answers the following questions. Which 3 reasons, benefits do you find most valuable to using animations in your classroom and why? Which reasons / benefits do you find the least valuable and why? And what issues do you might think you might run into integrating animations in your classroom? That reflection paper you can do in a Google Doc, you can do in Word, and please either upload the document or share the document and upload the link into Schoology. If you have any questions for me whatsoever, please reach out and email me.